Hi everyone and welcome to another fun video. Today I will create a parametric cantilever beam, the one you see on screen using the swept blend tool, where I will be able to change the height and width on both ends of the family. Let's get started by opening up a generic metric profile family template. This is purely a 2D family. Here I will create the cross section for the beam and I will establish parametric control for the height and width. To begin, we'll set up our reference planes, and this will work as the skeleton or foundation of the family. I only need 3 additional reference planes to constrain the rectangular cross-section. The horizontal reference plane will be placed below the existing one, as I want the insertion point to be at the top of the family when the profile is nested. The next step is to add dimension lines between the reference planes. This is a critical step for controlling the geometry and establishing parametric constraints. When the dimension values change, the reference planes will move accordingly. For the rectangle, I want the profile to stay centered on the center line. When the width is updated, the rectangle must expand evenly on both sides. To achieve this, I apply an equality constraint by clicking the EQ symbol on the multi-segment dimension. This ensures equal distances between the reference planes and keeps the profile centered. Next, we proceed by defining the parameters. It's essential for these parameters to be type-based, as this enables us to nest their values when incorporating this profile into other families, particularly in the case of 2D profiles. For this family, I only need 2 parameters, height and width. The data type is length, and I group them in the dimension category. After creating the parameters, I link them to the dimension lines. This is done by selecting a dimension line, going to the label field, and choosing the appropriate parameter from the drop-down menu. To make sure everything works as intended, I do a quick flex by changing the numerical values of the parameters and checking that the reference planes respond correctly. Everything looks good so far. Regularly flexing the model is a good practice when creating a family. Finally, we are going to create geometry. I draw up a rectangle with the line tool. Then I connect each line to a reference plane, and very importantly, I lock it together by clicking the small padlock, meaning that when the reference plane moves when changing the numerical parameter value, then the geometry will follow. Since I am creating a cantilever beam, I need 2 different cross sections. So I will create them in the profile family by adding a new type and calling the first one BP1 and the second BP2. Our 2 types inside the profile family are done. Now let's create the beam. For that I will start a new family. This time it will be with the structural framing template, which contains some built-in parameters for a beam that I would like to take advantage of. I load the cross-section profile into the beam family. The profile can be found in the project browser under families, and are now what is called a nested family, or a family inside a family. Later I will connect the parameters created here to the nested family. The template already contains a concrete beam, which I will delete. However, I will keep the line. Its visibility is set to coarse, meaning it will only appear in the main Revit project when the view detail level is set to coarse. Next, I will set up the parameters for the cantilever beam. Since the beam has 2 different cross sections at each end, I need 2 height parameters and 2 width parameters. The length and material parameters are already defined. The parameter will be set to instance. I could set it to type also, but let's go for instance today. I have created a whole video about type versus instance parameter, link in the description. The parameters are complete, so we can move on to creating the geometry, since the reference planes and dimension lines are already in place, as they are included in the framing template. For this family, I'll use the swept blend tool. a modeling feature that creates a 3D form by blending two different 2D profiles along a defined single segment or curved path. First, I create the path. I draw it along the center, then use the Align tool to lock the endpoints of the path to the built-in reference line. Next, I add the two cross-sections at each end of the path. Let's jump into a 3D view when applying the cross-sections, as it is a bit more visually pleasing to watch them be added and created here. The profile can be drawn manually, but in this case, I'll use the profile I created earlier. Once the profiles are added, click Finish to create the cantilever beam. Next, we'll connect the parameters starting with the material. Select the beam, go to the Properties palette, click the small button next to Material and link it to the Material parameter. I could assign the material after loading the family into the main project, but I also want a default material within the family itself. To do this, I open the Material browser, locate a concrete material from the Autodesk library, add it and assign it to the Material parameter. Before connecting the parameters in the beam family to the nested parameters in the profiles, I need to assign numerical values to all parameters. Otherwise, Revit will return an error. Next, I locate the profile families in the project browser and link the parameters in both cross-sections to the newly created parameters. This is an important step to make the family parametric, as it connects the parameters to the nested family. When that is done, the family is complete, so I save the family with a logical name. The last little thing I would do before loading it into the main project is to do a purge, deleting all unused elements in the family. I've made a dedicated video on purging, which is linked in the description. Load the family in the main project and draw it up in the 3D view. That might be a bit too long, so just drag it and make it smaller. In the Revit main project, I flex the family to see if it works as intended by changing all the parameters and seeing if the geometry changes with it. And that concludes this tutorial. Be sure to like and subscribe for more fun videos.